So how many people love the game of football because of the physicality and the excitement? A lot of people have debated the targeting penalty in football, that it should be changed. A lot of people think that it should stay the same. I don't know if any of you know what the targeting penalty is, but basically the targeting penalty in football is when a defenseless receiver or running back or whoever in that position is running this way and they look to catch the ball, or they're just looking the opposite direction and another player hits them without seeing. So if you don't know what that is right now, I'll provide you a video right here just to show you guys. But this is what it looks like. As you can see, he doesn't see it coming. He's kind of defenseless, and that's the whole point. So I don't know if you can see this here. But basically, the whole dispute is about him being defenseless. When a guy is throwing the ball and he's defenseless, it's, the notion that he's going to get injured, he could fracture a rib, head trauma, whatever it may be. And that's the big debate now today is the injuries. But I would beg to differ. I think it's not as lethal as other people think, and it's not as injury prone to other as other certain hits like chop blocks, horse collars, stuff like that. The targeting penalty was seriously brought up last year in 2013 because of the fear of injury. Now it has come to where people will be thrown out of the game due to a hit of targeting. Targeting is when a player is running defenseless or is looking the other direction, looks to make the hit or block on them, and they don't know that it's coming, basically. During this speech, I will be giving all the reasons I have to prove otherwise about this penalty, that it still deserves the penalty, but it doesn't deserve the kick out of the game. People don't deserve to be thrown out of the game due to something like this. People already know that when you sign up for football, that it's physical, and that obviously you're going to get hit. That's you're taking the football out of the game, and that's the big debate. Is people don't want that out of the game because that's the most exciting, the most exciting thing to some people. For me personally, and a lot of my friends, peers, they love the physicality of football. How you can get hit so many times, and you still love it just because it's how football is. It's what football is. When I played high school football, there's nothing more exciting than a big hit. When other people didn't see it coming, that's when it was the most fun. Even when the people that are receiving the hit, even they say that it's still football. It's fun. These hits are a reason some people play football. They live with the daily struggles in life and look to the field for therapy. According to blog.com, GameReady.com, the top 8 injuries in football have nothing to do with the head or targeting. It's all due to ligament, muscle, and tissue injury. People know what they're signing up for when playing football. Everyone knows that it's going to be physical. That's what makes football different from the rest. If people are targeting or anything like that, it's a lot more. It's abused a lot more than other penalties. And personally, I don't know why they treat it higher than like the horse collar or stuff like that. It's just that I think it looks more injury prone, like hurts worse, injuries could happen. But studies show that that's actually not even in the top 8 for injuries. It's actually all ligaments, joints, muscles, nothing that really has to do with targeting. A couple that are very, very injury prone are horse collar, which is when someone is dragged down by their neck area, making it easy to pull or strain something. A chop block, which is when somebody hits below the knees, which makes it easy for ACL tear, MCL tear, ligaments to be torn, pulled. These two penalties in football displayed above have 15-yard penalty, not an option to kick a player out, just 15-yard penalty. Why is this more serious than other penalties that have larger chance of injury? I think it's because I think it looks worse. People would automatically assume that this would be worse because obviously, he's looking the other way, or he's throwing the ball and he's getting hit. What I think is, personally, if he's throwing the ball and he gets hit, it's still part of football. I don't think they should be getting thrown out, but I think, obviously there should be some penalty to it. 15-yard penalty, 10-yard penalty, whatever it may be. The chance of injury during a targeting penalty isn't any more dangerous than other penalties regarding hits or tackles. Hits are exciting, although this matter is being dealt with harshly. It's all a part of football identity. Football started in 1892, and until 2013 did this penalty actually occur like this. Targeting actually wasn't brought up until last year. My apologies. This penalty is too harsh for what it's worth. The penalty doesn't have to be this severe. We don't want to take the football out of the game. Although this penalty was set last year in 2013, I think it needs to be discussed further. It may seem more dangerous, but based off statistics and certain studies, the topic injuries have nothing to do with it. Football is the only sport where so much physicality is displayed, and that is the reason we as fans love it. And the players as well, it's a tough, physical, and demanding game. How could we let the people take the football out of the game? I think that we should just go back to just penalties and not kick people out just because they're making a good hit on someone or they're looking before the other person sees it. I think that's a part of football, and it's just a way to come out there and take everything out on the field. People don't do drugs, other things like that. They look to the field for therapy, and they go out and they play football, which is a hitting, physical, fast, strong game, and I think that's the way it should be.